Okay, on the line we have Queen Taese, who's the founder of Roots to Fruits and Liberated Minds. And we the past actually probably about the past couple of months now, Professor Kabahayawatha Kamene and myself on the Per Ankh Hour show on Wednesday nights, and each episode on this show, the African History Network show on Thursday nights. We've been talking about the 2013 Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo that's coming up July 19th through the 21st. And we're going to hear right now from the organizer to tell us what's going on, how you can participate, and why you need to be there. So we want to welcome to the African History Network show for the first time, but definitely not the last time, Queen Taese. Hotep, sister, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Hotep, how's everyone doing out there? I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, no problem.
And
no problem.
I'm feeling really good about this upcoming gathering as I hear you. Yes, indeed. And I'm listening to Brother Umar, who you just shared that piece, and definitely that ties into the African family, which is really what this is all about. At the end of the day, I mean, we're talking about our youth, our Watoto, giving them the strength and the resources that's needed, which is utmost important in terms of the African structure of family, and making sure that we're able to pass on the legacy of our traditions and not get too watered down with this whole systematic structure that is really created to destroy our youth. So this is really an event or a gathering. I don't even like to say an event. It is just a beautiful gathering of enrichment, powerful presentations by some of our foremost educators that are really who have shown their dedication over the years to our youth, as well as, already. I mean, you're going to take part in it, and I'm really excited to have you on board. So
Absolutely.
I'll let you share. I don't want to overtalk.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Now, this is Friday through Sunday, June 19th through the 21st. Now, how many times have you done this expo?
This is actually our second annual. The first one was last July at the end of the month, and we decided to keep it come up with a consistent week that we can do it every year. So each year it will be the third weekend in July. That is the plan as of now. And last year it was only one day, so it was a lot of information squeezed into a short time frame. And even the whole weekend, it's still a short time frame for all of the information that's being presented. However, due to the request of a lot of our people who came in town and a lot of our families and educators and homeschoolers, everyone who attended, they really said this needs to be longer. So I said, okay, well, we're going to take that, in consideration. So we definitely extended it this year.
Absolutely.
It actually starts Friday with a meet and greet, because we do have a lot of families that are coming in town. And so what's beautiful is we want to have that time. A lot of times we get together and it's, when it comes to lectures and workshops and those types of things, everybody's just real in it, hardcore, getting information. But I said it would be nice to have a few hours, outside of that concentrated space where we can just fellowship. Because a lot of times, that's where the trust is built, the real relationships are built. The youth can fellowship with each other. We're going to have some food, just real laid-back, informal, getting together at the Omenala Griot African History Museum here in Atlanta, who was definitely gracious to lend us the space, and just a few hours of fellowshipping, and that'll be on Friday the 19th, and then on Saturday and Sunday it's all about the business. So, definitely getting in there. I'm telling everybody, don't come just on those social vibes, because we do that a little bit too much. We got to balance it out with getting to work also and getting that information. Oh yeah, getting the training and taking advantage of the time that we have together to build. So.
Absolutely. Now, what time on Friday does the social gathering start?
That's from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Just a quick 3 hours in the evening. Yes.
Okay,
and,
absolutely. And then on Saturday, what time does it start on Saturday?
Saturday's at 11, and it goes up until 7 o'clock. And it will be all day. Well, Saturday and Sunday both. Sunday is 1 to 6, and Saturday is 11 to 7. So we start a little bit later on Sunday just to give folks a little bit of time to sleep in, because I know Saturday is going to be intense, especially for those who attend the whole weekend. And, you know, we will be jam-packed with various exhibitors. And then we were really particular in choosing the exhibitors in terms of not having, you know, too much of one thing, really showing the diversity of what's out here and showing the resources that exist, because a lot of times we always hear, well, there's not enough resources, but there are a plethora of resources. It's just about connecting our people. I mean, we are the greatest resource there is, just working with each other, and it's a reciprocal relationship. I look at it as that anyway, because of the fact that, you know, a lot of our independent educators and workers that create a lot of the products and the things that help to assist and educate our youth and our families, a lot of times we don't have those extra funds to mass market and those types of things. So this is an opportunity for us to support what they are doing, what they have created, but also it's an opportunity for the exhibitors to share with our families the things that they have created to help assist in the education of our youth. So it's you know, the win-win situation for everyone. And we also will be having a book fair for the first time this year, which we will have powerful stuff. Powerful.
Now, what exactly is the book fair? What exactly is the book fair?
The book fair is, last year we had a few book exhibitors. However, this year we really wanted to enhance that. As you know, a lot of times you go to various book fairs and it's a lot of just junk.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about the vain novels and the trash, the trash urban novels.
Exactly, a waste of time. So I really wanted to add that component. I said this year that would be beautiful to have that component where, you know, we have some really powerful heavy hitters that can even do book signings throughout the day. We have various book stores or independent, I don't even want to say stores, but just independent book distributors and sellers, as well as some of the authors themselves, such as Mwalimu Baruti of Aquafin House, and, you know, just a various, I know you're familiar, right?
Yeah, I've interviewed him. I've interviewed Dr. Mwalimu Baruti. We dealt with the feminization of the African-American man. So, very powerful.
Every one of his books. And, you know, his books are manuals. You know, as my husband says, he always says, you know, his books are they're manuals. Certain books you just read and other books you hold on to. And, you know, it becomes a staple in your family to share and so on and so forth. So, you know, it will be a day full of book signings for those who purchase the books. And then in addition to that, they get to meet a lot of the authors that will be there. We have, I would say, a good 6 or 7 authors, as well as some youth authors that will be there. We have a 10-year-old young sister who's traveling in from D.C. We have another young brother who wrote a book. He's 13.
She's an author? The 10-year-old is an author?
She's an author, yes. And and another young brother who's 13 who talks about his journey to Africa. And so just powerful youth. And that's also what we want to exhibit, is not just, of course, what we are doing as adults, but, you know, it's really about what are the youth doing and how are we empowering them and what do they have to say as well. So that's a little bit different than what we had last year in terms of just having some book exhibitors. We wanted to expand that piece. And each year we'll expand it a little bit more, you know, with the process of adding those various components.
Right. Now, the 10-year-old who wrote a book, what's the name of her book? And do you know what her book is about?
You know, I don't have it in front of me. I do know what it is about. Okay. She is basically sharing about positive energy, directing your thoughts, manifesting the things that you would like to manifest, and she's sharing it from her personal experience. So, and it's a picture book. It's a photo book, excuse me. It has actually photos. that go with the word that she created.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay, now if you're just tuning in, you listen to the African History Network show. Our guest is Queen Taese, who's telling us about the 2013 Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo, which is taking place Friday, July 19th through Sunday, the 21st in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Omega World Event Center, located at 3951 Snapfinger Parkway in Decatur, Georgia. Okay. Now, for who is this Expo for? Who should come to this? Let me ask you that.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a pretty broad question in terms of who can benefit from this. Definitely homeschoolers. Okay. Those who are thinking about homeschooling, considering what it will be like, looking for a support system that can help support that process. Because of the fact that I don't like to use the word alternative, but, you know, a lot of times we say, well, people are looking for alternatives to the public school system. Well, I believe this should be first and foremost and the only way to go in terms of an African-centered education. It doesn't necessarily have to be homeschooling, but for parents who are serious about finding out the various resources and finding out what needs to be done to really rectify and change the process of the destruction of our youth. I would also say educators, those who are in the classroom, who are working with our youth, whether it's a public school, private school, in terms of the resources, in terms of the information and the empowerment of dispelling a lot of the myths and definitely expelling a lot of the yurugu that still lies within all of us. And so that's the main thing, because, you know, what I'm seeing, and I've been homeschooling for, I guess, 17 years. My first child just graduated this year. And so I would say even with all of the experience of homeschooling our own children, and in addition working with having a homeschool and working with multiple of children who really have become part of our family here at Roots to Fruits, I would say that even with all of that, there's so much that I feel I still have to learn. You know, a lot of times we feel like we've been doing something for so long and, you know, we're experts or this, that, and the third, but I definitely stand that I am a student, a student for life. Right, exactly. And as long as we keep that mentality, you know, we're able to grow with our youth and, you know, really take this journey together on a collective. So I would say definitely educators who recognize that, because a lot of, like I said, a lot of say, well, you know, we've been doing it for so many years, and just, you know, being able to sit as a student and just say, okay, I want to learn, you know, I want to learn more. For those who are disgruntled with the public school system, we dive into the origins of the public school system, which is really heavy, because a lot of us sit back and we say, well, you know, the public school system is failing our children, and I always say they're not. They're actually successful at doing what they're supposed to do.
Right,
so,
right. They were never
designed
to educate our own children. The public school system, this is what we have to understand. The public school system was never designed to educate our children. It was created to design. It was designed to educate a managerial class in the who are going to be managers in the factories. So they need to learn to read, write, and arithmetic. That's who it was designed for. Okay, so this is why we have to let that go. Okay, excellent, excellent. Now, tell us some of the people who are going to be at the homeschooling conference.
Wow, I'm trying not to miss anybody here. We have Dr. Marimba Ani, who will be there.
Yes, author of Yurugu.
Wow, I could go on for days about her works in terms of her commitment and dedication to the upliftment and the empowerment of our people. But we have Dr. Malimu Baruti. We have Dr. Samori Kamara out of New Orleans, who is just a powerhouse on this path, young brother who started a homeschool and, you know, just doing it. I mean, doing it from every level and really supportive, not just to his mission and what he's doing, but the overall, willing to assist any and everyone. We just actually had a conference call with him last week, which was, really incredible. We have Sister Njadeka and Mama Mawusi out of Indianapolis, and they actually are part of the Akoko 9 homeschool homeschool resource center, they call it. And it's an online, great online resource for African-centered education, for homeschooling, for parents.
Sure.
And it's virtually, they really are virtually nothing. I think it's like $10 for the year. Just really, it's incredible what they're offering. It's even the workshops and the classes and things like that they have ongoing. Who else? I'm trying to think. There's so many. We have Dr. Kaba Hiawatha coming, and he has been such a strong supporter of all of the works, Roots to Fruits, Liberated Minds, and, of course, many of you know him from Hidden Colors. However, he has been doing this for so long, way before that. And, really just,
in Hidden Colors, he's known as Booker T. Coleman. In Hidden Colors, he's known as Booker T. Coleman. He's in Hidden Colors 1 and 2. He's also the co-host of the Per Ankh Hour Questions and Answers with me on Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the African History Network. Absolutely. And then let's see, you have Baba Yoga Bay.
Yes, Baba Yoga Bay, who is an elder, about 37, 40 years of, teaching yoga, meditation. He also deals with African drumming, all of the sciences, all the ancient sciences. Who else? Throw them out there. We have Sister Olaomi, who deals with from the Yoruba perspective, and she also will be doing a book signing for her third book, dealing with African spirituality also, in addition to doing a workshop. We have Baba Cordell, who will also be doing dealing with something that a lot of us don't think about, is the safety and protection of our children and our families.
Right.
And so what does that look like? What is it that our youth are really facing right now? So a lot of us are so busy working to make sure that they have everything that we don't have time to really keep our ear to the streets of a lot of things that's going on and how to best protect our families. So that is definitely going to be a powerful workshop to be a part of. And also this year as well, we will have an entrepreneur segment, not just speaking about cultivating that for our youth, but also a lot of our families have chosen the entrepreneurial path to support this homeschool process. And so that is a huge piece. How do we get over the hump of not becoming capitalists and at the same time being able to participate in a system that is as such without becoming it. And so, that's rough. That's rough for a lot of us. And so I said, you know what, I think that's a piece that needs to be addressed. Brother Chika Akua and also Brother Anka Aku, who a lot of you may know from LIB, he also does a lot of presentations on marketing and things like that. Really powerful. He deals with guerrilla marketing, which means no money. You don't have to have any money.
I'm familiar with that. That term was coined by J. Conrad Levinson. He has a series: guerrilla marketing, guerrilla advertising, guerrilla selling. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And I've taught entrepreneurship for 7 years. My degree's in business administration. So the entrepreneurship portion is key because oftentimes we'll have people who are passionate and they're excellent educators, but they don't understand the business side of this. They don't understand how to grow the school and keep the school going, and then also pass it on to a second generation as well. So a succession plan has to be put in place also. A lot of people, a lot of people don't understand this. So, for that section, if you want me to interject a few points in there, let me know, because that entrepreneurship and economic empowerment is something that I'm very passionate about. I've been studying it for 20 years, and we have to have a synthesis with African history and culture and economic empowerment and entrepreneurship. They have to be synthesized. and unfortunately,
it's a huge, it really is a huge issue, and a lot of the challenges that we're facing, doing this process of homeschooling and educating our own youth, of course, we have to finance it. So,
right.
The realistic practicality kicks in, when, you're trying to provide certain resources, or whether it's travel or just whatever it is that you want. I think I know we all, definitely deserve that, and we can have that, but we do need to have a mental shift on how we're looking at this thing we call business. Yes, and it's, a lot of it is cultural, because it's a cultural paradigm shift, and when we look at everything, we're doing what we naturally do culturally in terms of, we don't have to usually do all the marketing and all that. We've always supported each other, as a people, even through whether it's the bartering or the, being merchants and those types of things. That didn't factor into how we supported each other. So now, that we're in a little different type of setting, we got to shift it. We got to say, okay, well, what are we dealing with now, and how are we going to work this thing? Because some serious attention definitely has to be given in those areas, and then also the cultivation of our youth along the way, and not waiting, because there's no other culture who waits until their children are 18 and says, okay, now this is what you're going to do. These youth are being cultivated from birth, straight on through. You see them in the restaurants, 5 years old, even if they just put napkins on the table. So, it's just a shift of the mindset. That's all. And I think, when certain points are brought forward, it does give you something to think about and some things that you can execute and act upon. And that's really what this whole thing is about, really developing competent and confident educators so that we have the skills, we have the training, and it's really about the execution. It's not just sitting back, clapping, that was a good point, but how are we going to go home and execute all of this information that we received over the weekend?
Absolutely. If you have a question or comment for Queen Taese regarding homeschooling or the 2013 Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo, give us a call right now. Area code 914-338-1375. 914-338-1375. Press the number 1 key to put you in queue so we can bring you on the air. We have a few minutes left in this segment. Tell people how they can find out more information and how they can register for the conference, for the expo.
Okay, beautiful. The best way to find out more information, you can go to the website, which is www.liberatedmindsexpo, which is LIBERATEDMINDSEXPO, just like it sounds, liberatedmindsexpo.com. And that will give you basically all the information that you need as far as the registration. You can do everything from the website. So if you're interested in registering, if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, if you're interested, we also have the Liberated Minds Homeschool Association, which is a year-round membership, with various resources. And with that, you can also receive discounts for admission at the expo, as well as discounts with some of the exhibitors who are in network. I know definitely Open House with Mwali Mubaruti, they give 10% off to Liberated Minds members, and we have a host of others that also will be doing the same thing there. So I think it's $37, I think it is. It's a special that's running. Normally it's about $50. I think it's $37 that's running through the day, through the weekend of the expo, where you can become a member. And it's year-round resources, curriculum materials. It's dealing with homeschooling and the education of our youth throughout the diaspora, because there's a lot going on outside of just here, especially in the homeschool movement. A lot of times we just think locally, but there's a lot going on internationally. And we do have a lot of international members also. So it's great to just be able to connect and network with people from, around the world who have a similar vision, purpose, and mission, and who are living that out. So you can also call, if you needed additional information, you can call myself at 678-368-8593. That's 678-368-8593. Or I'll give the email address. I'll give that as well,
Sure.
which is liberatedmindseducation@yahoo.com. liberatedmindseducation@yahoo.com. So between the website, the email, and the phone number, I think that pretty much covers it in terms of any information that's needed.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Now, this is taking place Friday through Sunday, July 19th through the 21st. We have the flyer on our website, also theafricanhistorynetwork.com. It's also on our Facebook like page, The African History Network, and we posted the video clip. It's about a minute and a half on our like page as well that talks about the Expo. So we have to come to the realization that the public schools are being phased out. Okay, we need to what we need are our own independent schools. Okay, homeschooling can be a transition to that, but it can be a transition to building our own independent schools. This is what we need.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then we gotta keep in mind, not to cut you off, but we can't continue to take the same mentality of the public school and just bring it home, because a lot of parents,
right,
they're recognizing that, okay, public school is not the way to go. However, how do we handle this thing? Because a lot of times you have a lot of parents that just take the curriculum from school and they just bring it home and they administer it themselves, which is definitely a double kicker, because number one, not only are you doing a disservice, but at the same time, there's no funding. So at least,
right,
my thing is, if you're going to do it, you have to be willing to change your ways of thinking. And it does take some growing, because we all are trying to exercise this whole, like I said, Yurugu out of us. And a lot of us have been brought up in the public school system. So it does take some stretching and growing to say, okay, what do I need to get rid of? What do I need to add in? And it takes the support of the village, of everyone working together collectively. At least a group that you trust,
right.
that you can, everybody says, oh, unity, everybody together. But if you have a core group, at least, even if it's 2, 3, 4, 5 of you that, have your belief system and it's strong and you work together, that at least that's enough to build from.
Right. Now, when you say Yurugu, for those that don't know, what do you mean by Yurugu?
Well, I mean, in terms of the European thought, the way that we think, the way we critical think as African people is completely different. So if you're looking at a Yurugu, I say a Yurugu to me is someone that can never be complete, half-souled. And that
right.
term was, I don't want to say coined by Mama Marimba, but with her book, that term was brought forward. It's actually a Dogon tradition, right, in terms of, where the story came from and however. But we are, as African people, complete in terms of how we live, the holistic way that we think. It is just getting back to that, because we have been, torn away from our original traditions and cultures. And that's not to say that everything has to go back to the way it was, but the evolution of what that looks like needs to stem from the way it was, how we had it originally, and anything that evolves from that needs to really, how could I put it, stem from the origins of what that looks like for us as a people. So when I say Yurugu, it is really a mindset that we have taken on, and I say that because a lot of us African people, we have encompassed that way of thinking. And so when you encompass the way of thinking, you become that. And so in order to exercise that out of us in terms of, okay, this is not working, this culture is not working, we have to begin to look at the origins of where those things come from. And that's what I love about Baba Baruti, as I call him, is that he really gets deep into the origins. And so we can see, the homosexuality, and all of the, it didn't just surface now. We can take it all the way back to the origins. It's powerful. It changes your whole view.
Right. That goes back to Greece and Rome. Okay.
Yes.
Well, look, sisters, it's been great having you on. Or you know what? Let me see. Okay. So, look, once again, people, visit liberatedmindsexpo.com, liberatedmindsexpo.com, and you can register for this conference. and get more information, and we'll see you there. All right, sister, we're going to have you back on next Thursday also to talk about this as well if you have time, okay?
Sounds great. I appreciate you having me on, and definitely much power and strength to you in your works as we, got to continue it forward.
No problem.
Okay.
Congratulations to you on the new baby. Congratulations to you on the new baby also, okay?
Madasi, give thanks. Give thanks. All right. We'll talk soon.
Peace.
Okay, Hotep.
All right, Hotep. All right, family. We'll be back in a few minutes. That was Queen Taese talking about the 2013 Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. Okay, also, if you call in and listen by phone, mute the phone, okay? Because if I accidentally come to you, well, if you press the number 1 key, that's going to put you in queue to come on the air. So if you aren't going to talk, just mute the phone or something. All right. Join us in the chat room, blogtalkradio.com/The African History Network Show, blogtalkradio.com/The African History Network Show.